Night of the Living Geek.
Hello and welcome to this week's LHG cast. I'm your host, Nick. With me today is Taylor.
Hello.
Jake.
What? Yes.
Dang it.
Got him to laugh.
Hello. Hi. I don't know why you said my name like that.
It got you to laugh, and that's what I wanted to do.
That's his ultimate goal.
To make Jake laugh.
That was good. That was pretty funny.
Also,
You
because
looked like a fish when you said it.
I know.
You just your head was up and your mouth open. Just
Jake. Jake.
dang it.
Well, because I said Taylor's name weird too, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go with it and say Jake in a weird way as well. Well, Jake, you are gonna be our moderator for this episode.
Yeah. I got a list of stuff to talk about, and so we're gonna talk about it. Okay.
Full week. This is a huge week in game. Probably the biggest week in gaming news in a long time, I would say.
Well, honestly, the past couple weeks have been good. I mean, what with the VR and then with the Nintendo Switch, they've been good.
Yeah.
This month is, been good.
Well, the rest of the year is going to be nice. There's always stuff coming out. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think from here on out, there's just going to be some game that we'll be talking
So
about.
that's good.
It's going to be nothing because November 8th, the world ends.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, because...
Is that the tagline for a game?
Yeah.
No, it's the election day.
Oh. Why'd you say yeah?
Yeah. It's a game.
All right. So here's what we're going to be talking about today.
Whoever wins, we lose.
God. All right. So first one is going to be we're going to update our draft. If you guys remember, we made a draft a few weeks ago that was pretty much picking games that were going to come out this year, and then we're going to tally up the Metacritic scores and see who gets the most. So I think we've got a couple more games that have come out, so we're going to update the draft. Then we're going to talk a little bit about Kismet and some VR stuff. Then, of course, we're going to be going on to Red Dead Redemption 2. Talk about impressions of the trailer and what we hope, all that stuff. Then the big stuff of the day, it's going to take up a lot of it. Nintendo Switch. Yep. So Nintendo
Sorry
Switch.
if your ears are bleeding.
No, they're not bleeding because I can see right now. They're not bleeding.
He sees your ears right now.
Yes,
and they're not bleeding.
I see the sound.
So in case you're listening and you're like, wait, are my ears bleeding? Rest
They're
assured,
not.
Nick sees
We
them and they are
we
not.
checked.
So, Jake, get figure 2.6 out and show us.
Figure 2.6?
And show us what's happening in that figure and explain to us what
are you talking about? This is
I'm
weird,
so confused.
long-form joke right now. Let's just continue on to the draft update. So, Taylor, could you take it away with the draft update?
Yeah,
Because you talk to you so much.
We there were two games that came out since the last episode that we can update, and so one of my picks that came out was Civilization 6. I think it came out Friday or Thursday. It came out last week.
Came out Friday.
Okay. And right now, the Metacritic score is sitting at a 94.
Oh, man.
Which is
crushing
not by far, but right now it's the highest game on any of our lists, beating out Forza Horizon 3 by 3 points.
I hope its replayability is awful, so that in a week, the Metacritic goes down to 60.
Civilization has unlimited replayability.
Yeah, so you're out of luck on that as far as that goes.
Yeah. No one chose No Man's Sky, did they?
I believe you did.
Did I?
Did, yeah.
Did I choose No Man's Sky?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Jake,
when was that? Because right now it's at 70. When was this updated?
I haven't
that's
updated the rest of the game.
That's
so
going to go down.
Yeah. At the end of the year, we'll reconvene and make sure this is all...
Why did I choose No Man's Sky?
Because you fell for the hype.
You
expected something great. You were hoping.
I was just hoping, because the thing is that I was just hoping that there was going to be more content to the game.
Okay.
More content.
Hashtag Connor.
Hashtag Connor. Content.
But anyway, Jake did get an update, a good update, unfortunately, because one of his scores is a 0. It won't matter too much, but Battlefield 1 came out.
Thanks so much.
I'm just keeping it real. Battlefield 1 came out, and it's sitting at an 89, which is really good.
Well, it's from everything I've been seeing, it's getting really, really nice reviews. I actually Redboxed it because I've been on the fence so much.
Cool.
And it's actually a lot of fun, guys. It
Sweet.
is a lot of fun. It's easily the best one since Bad Company 2.
Wow.
The
That's been a
multiplayer is
long time.
fantastic. The campaign is like super emotional,
You
like
know-
really
You
emotional.
know why, right? Because it's not modern warfare anymore. It's back to World War.
Yeah, it's nice. Actually, it is technically the oldest one, the oldest game in the series, because Battlefield 1942 takes place like a year after.
In
Or
1942.
No, not. I'm sorry, because that's World War II.
World War
This
One was in like the 20s
yeah, my bad,
or
my
whatever,
bad.
right? Or the teens.
Never
Yeah.
mind. I was thinking the first year of World War II instead of World War One. Never mind. Okay, I'm dumb. Go ahead.
But
You
anyway,
can tell who knows his history.
so
Not us.
not us. So right now, if we were to do averages, right now my average is a score of 89. So right now Jake's is a 58.5. But if we were to just pretend, so he picked South Park. If we got rid of that and it was just the average of 3 games, it'd be a 78.
Okay.
And Nick is also sitting at an 89. And he has a couple of games I think coming out. I don't know when Titanfall 2 comes out, but that's
Comes out just really soon.
Really
actually.
soon.
Yeah.
so.
God, there's too many games,
Yeah.
guys. I'm looking at Battlefield 1. Oh wait, sorry. Go for it.
No, I was just going to say, so Nick has 2 games coming out really soon. Dragon Ball Xenoverse comes out when you're listening to this. It will be out this week, and then Titanfall 2 is out not too far
I'll
after
be
that.
playing it.
Yeah. And then I have
You gonna
Pokemon.
play Titanfall 2?
No.
Oh, Xenoverse.
Xenoverse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Duh. Jeez.
Duh.
Well, because you said it when he said Titanfall 2.
Did I?
I think so.
Well, I won't be playing that.
Okay.
But I gotta say, like, it's kind of tough to. Wait, are you done? Sorry.
I was just going
I
to say
keep-
my last
wanting
2
to rant.
games. So Jake's list has been completed. I have Pokemon Sun and Moon and Last Guardian still to come, which I think Nick's going to end up winning this because I think Last Guardian might drag my score down. But
Or get delayed again.
What does Nick have? What did he use again?
Titanfall 2 and so he has Xenoverse 2 and Titanfall 2 to
Uh-huh.
come out, but his other 2 games were Monster Hunter and Generations and Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah, man, those are good picks. Good job.
Yep.
I know my stuff.
Okay, so guys, I need a bit of help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Battlefield 1, Xenoverse 2, Titanfall 2, and Dragon Quest Builders I still really want to play. And what was the other one coming out next week?
Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
I already said that one. Thanks for paying attention.
I know.
I don't know what else comes out next week.
I can't
That's
remember,
the big
but-
one.
Like, it's killing me. There's so
Some VR
many,
game maybe?
So many.
Really?
Uh,
There's only one game that you should be buying.
Final Fantasy
It starts
15?
with D. Dragon Quest Builders.
Yeah, that was on my list.
I know. That's the only one you should buy.
So not Xenoverse 2?
Yeah.
Probably because you don't want to get beat, huh?
Exactly. I got to get good first, and then you could get it.
There you
No,
go.
but even then, I'm still having trouble, like, finding the money for it because the VR kind of put me out of commission for a bit. But
Sure.
I mean,
Worth it.
yeah. Oh, super. Totally worth it.
So
Speaking-
no new games until you recover.
No, I'll just kind of just keep digging myself into a big hole.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
You'll
It's
learn
fine. It's fine.
someday.
So actually, speaking of the VR, if you guys are cool, I was hoping I could talk a bit about Kismet.
Yeah.
And VR experiences. So VR experiences are, I mean, there's just things that are not games, and they're prominent enough where the PlayStation Store actually had like its own section for VR experiences separate
Oh,
from
really?
VR games. Yeah, which
that's
was
cool.
nice.
I think that's experience is going to be the main thing for VR.
Me
Yeah.
too. I think that's where it's going to thrive.
So there are some video apps for it already, like Vridio and
And-
Superstar VR or something like that.
I think the other one was PlayStation porn, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No.
What's the music app that was in the Japanese conference? Do you remember that? The VR music app where
Harmonix.
you listen to music and then you're like in a different scene. Like you could be on like a beach. You could be on the
Oh,
I
beach
think
or like in the
that's-
forest.
Isn't that PlayStation Harmonix or something
I
like
don't,
that?
I don't know what it is. I know what Nick's talking about. I don't remember what it's called.
Because I know
though.
Harmonix has a lot of different like play modes, but I think it also has just some scenery stuff.
It was like a Sony specific app. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the PlayStation
and then
Harmonix.
like you can check your phone while you're in VR or something like that. Like if
Yeah,
you
you-
have an Android compatible, I'm assuming it has to be Android compatible or something where it would pop up what's on your phone and you can like check your phone in
That's
VR.
super cool.
Yeah, that's so weird.
I do know already one of the coolest things is when you have the VR headset on and your controller is in vision, right? You'll actually see your controller floating around in front of you when you're playing VR.
that's cool.
Because of the light bar on the controller, it registers it. And so you can actually like look up what a lot of games have been doing is that like if you look down and you see your controller in VR floating there, it actually has like floating text that's like attached to the controller that says the controls. So it like circles the, X and it says select, for instance, like that. So it's like anytime you want, just glance down at your controller, which is where you're holding it, and you see the controls. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Really, really neat application of that.
I mean, when I was playing with VR, Jake had the controller, and he would like walk by with the controller, and I would see like a controller's walking by.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, look, it's my controller.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so Kismet has really grabbed me lately. It's just a little tiny thing that I totally glossed over when I first saw it. Then I looked at it again. It's like $6, and I'm like, I'm really looking for the full VR experience. So what is this? And I looked at a little tiny trailer for it, and that hooked me. So I bought it, and I love it. It's Kismet is it's just it's a fortune teller. Pretty much. Yeah. And so you start up the game, and there's this woman sitting across the table from you, and you're in a caravan. Or like a covered wagon kind of thing, and you're looking around, and it's this rustic, very brown and kind of golden because there's some candles and lanterns around that are kind of making things, giving them this nice glow. There's 2 windows, one on your left and one on your right, where you can kind of look out and you see these like meadows and trees and things like that outside this caravan, or this I keep wanting to call it the caravan, this wagon, and it kind of just like I can kind of almost imagine the outside of it where it's like this kind of hand painted, psychic inside, 5 cents or something like that. And you just kind of open up the back of it and take a step in, and there's just a stool, a table, and then her. And she's got like these shelves and all these weird curios and knickknacks, and just the ambiance of it is just so cool. And so she has a bunch of these different lines, just like hello, good morning, or like welcome back, little things like that are really nice because the voice actress just did a great job. And then you can either get a tarot card reading, or you can have you can get your horoscope read, or then you can also play a little dice game called the Royal Game of which was an ancient Egyptian dice game, and it takes like a couple minutes to play. It's really easy to learn, really easy to play, and it's just fun.
I thought you said this wasn't a game, Jake.
And it isn't. I still wouldn't say that it is, because while there is one of the 3 activities is a game, it's all about the ambiance. Like I don't really care if I lose very much when I play, but it's just great. It's so much fun. It's like 15 minutes. To you start it up, she says hello, you feel kind of right at home. It's kind of this little bit of an escapist thing because again the environment's so nice. You get your tarot card reading, you go and get your astrological sign read and all that, and then you just play this little dice game and you just kind of relax, and it's just something about it. It's just really incredible. It really is. And I haven't really had any game experience like it, and so that's I think why they called it experiences. And so I'm excited for more things like that.
I know you really need to escape from your girlfriend and everything.
Come on. It's not about that. It's not that I don't like the life that I'm in, so I'm escaping into the virtual realm. It's just kind of this. It's a neat little place to visit. Yeah. And it's again, if it was way more involved, if it was like a 45-minute to an hour thing, that wouldn't be as good. It's great in the maybe 15 minutes it takes to go through all 3 activities. So
sweet.
There are a lot of other things as well. Like there's a free movie that came out with the PlayStation VR called Alamet, and it's just this like it looks almost claymation, but it's not.
That's all right.
Yeah, and it's just this like really nice 3D movie where it's kind of about this like village in the clouds, and you feel like this giant kind of standing in the middle of it, and you kind of just overlook this story about this little girl and her mother and all this stuff, and it's just a really nice story, and you can kind of there's like a bridge, you can really like lean to the side and look under the bridge, you can like look all around, and it's just fun. It's just a really great thing. And so what I wanted to say, the point of all this was just that these VR experiences have a lot of value, and that's I think going to be really, really important to the growth of VR as a medium as well, because that's still it's still like not even accepted really as a general form of media yet. And so I think it's
probably
not
won't be.
It's not, dude. I think it is. I think it's going to be the future. I really think it is. Once they become cheaper, more comfortable, less maintenance, more affordable just for the average user. You know, like for people who aren't gamers to be interested in getting them for these experiences. I think that's where it's really going to shine. That's where it's going to open up into the broad market. I think it's going to be a medium comparable to a TV. Because it doesn't have to be games. It can be movies. It can be these experiences. It can be games.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Anchorman.
Anchorman quote. Sure. That's just that's really great. Good.
I'm kind
good
of
contribution.
I'm
Nick.
with. No, go ahead.
Go, no.
I was gonna say I'm kind of with Jake. Like that's what excites me most about VR is just being in a space that I wouldn't be able to be in otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I honestly think if they can solve the motion sickness part of this, like, I almost think walking simulators, quote unquote, could be really fun.
Oh, yeah.
In VR. Like, just it brings a whole new element to what those games are because you're like in that space.
Mm-hmm.
So let's segment into the next topic where
segue?
Not segment. Let's segue into the next segment because you brought up an interesting point.
Okay.
Oh, right.
For genres that were the best genres in VR.
Yeah, I was pretty much I was gonna bring up what games or genres do you guys want to see in VR, and that doesn't have to just be games either. It could be any form of media. I mean,
genre of experience?
Yeah, just anything. What kind of stuff would you guys ideally want to see in VR?
Those kind of games would be cool. I mean, I think slowly but surely, I think Nick has noticed this. Like the games I like to play, I almost like to play them just to be in cool spaces. Maybe even if like what I'm doing isn't interesting, but if it's a cool place to be in,
escapist.
Yeah, like because normally
Totally.
I wouldn't be able to be in those kind of places, or those kind of places don't exist in real life. Or even like I think what can be cool is like, for example, like at E3, like I think if Sony doesn't do this for PSX, it's a huge missed opportunity. Like set up a 3D camera in the first row, and it's like, hey, pay $2 and you can be in the audience at PlayStation Experience with VR, and you can look around and do whatever, and you can watch it live. Like live events, I think is going to be huge in VR.
You know, actually, it reminds me there was because I just kind of went VR crazy. I mean, I still am. I got every demo I possibly could. Like I downloaded the Rush of Blood demo, even though I'm not going to play it.
I heard that game is actually pretty good.
That's
like,
what I've heard
from a lot
too.
of reviews that I've been watching and stuff. Yeah,
I ended up deleting it because I needed some more space for more VR stuff.
And he was scared of this clown on
Yeah,
it.
totally.
Well, it's a scary game from what I've heard. Like legitimately,
Right.
because it's in VR, it increases whatever
Right.
dumb jump scares.
So anyway, I was kind of just downloading everything I could, and with a heavy sigh, I was like, all right, let's just see what it is. I downloaded the Hatsune Miku
Nice.
VR concert thing, and I tried it out, and there were parts of it that were kind of creepy, but it was really cool. Like, especially if you're into Hatsune Miku, because you start off, you're in the crowd, and that's all it is. It's trying to replicate being in a concert for her. So it's like it's not like you're in the the Vocaloid. You're not like in their world. You're in real life seeing the hologram, right?
Sure.
In a video game.
Yeah. No,
But it's just kind of weird because the audience that you're in, it's all just like black silhouettes. And they're just kind of creepy looking. Like I'm just kind of imagining at any point they could just turn and like
around
look at
and be a
me,
monster,
and I'm just gonna be like, oh, everyone's staring at me, just like, oh god.
You just thought of a good horror game.
Yeah, totally. But it's kind of cool. You can just, with a single button, you can like rotate what position you're in the audience. And you can be on the sides, you can be in front. You can also elevate yourself to like this floating platform kind of above, so you can just kind of see the action. You can see all like this whole concert, and it's just. That's the kind of thing you were talking about, like for audience stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I also watched I watched a recording of the Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL for their 20th
VR?
Yeah, for their 20th
Weird.
anniversary. Yeah, so for SNL's 20th anniversary, they set up a 360-degree camera there.
Cool.
And so if I turned around, I saw the whole audience. I saw to my side, I saw all the cameras. I saw all the people with cue cards and all the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, and like I actually could look up and see on the TV monitors what the show is actually looking like. And then when the camera wasn't on certain people, I would look and like they would be switching things around. They'd be doing funny stuff. So next time the camera went back to them, they would be, he'd be wearing a hat, and then everyone would laugh like, "What are you doing with that hat?" Right? And like it was just some of these experiences are just super cool. So I'm sorry, I kind of ranted on again with your concert idea.
This is
paid events.
This is what I think. You guys bring up an awesome point.
Courtside.
You haven't talked about any games. VR is not going to be about games.
I haven't talked about any games.
Like right now,
because we're talking about
like the main things that are like wowing you are not the games.
I disagree. No, the games are the things wowing me.
I don't think VR is going to be a very big gaming thing. I think it's going to be
it'll
about
be a mix
experience.
of both, because from what you guys were pretty high on rigs last time, and the reviews I've been watching, a lot of people are saying that is like the best game at launch for PSVR. And I think there might be more games. I don't know if it would be sports related games, but I think there is a future for.
I really do think
I don't know what those are though, because people are still figuring out how VR works, what's interesting in VR, you know what I mean?
I honestly think VR headsets, they are going to be complementary to and equally as popular. They're going to be a sidestep of, not to replace, not to improve, a sidestep of television screens. I think just a 2D screen or even a 3D screen, something that is not on your face, that's going to remain very popular, for sides of buildings, for, public entertainment, like, everyone's staring at the same screen, right? That's obviously, that can't be replaced by this VR headset. But for single person use, I think VR headsets are eventually going to be just as popular as screens.
And I do a bet on this?
Okay, yeah. In 20 years,
no,
when this is,
no.
Then you'll pay me $5.
I'm going to say,
which is the equivalent of like what, a penny.
I want to
in 20 years.
See, it's like next year, if VR has disappeared.
Oh, there's no way it'll disappear.
There's no way it's disappeared in a year, Nick.
Yeah, in a year,
that's not a realistic bet on your part.
The hype is dived down. I want to see if you still say that.
So, all right, because I'm going to respond to this bet the same way I do with all the bets that you put me on, which is. Quantify it. Like what is okay, how are we in a year? I'm gonna say no, hype's still there, and you're gonna say hype's dead, and I'm gonna say no, hype's still there because people are still talking about it. Look at this new game, and you're gonna be like hype's dead, and then you're just gonna want me to pay you, and I'm gonna want you to pay me, and it's just a piece of crap bet. So quantify it. If you actually come at me with like some numbers, say like if no games are coming out for 3 months,
VR
in 1 year.
I'm gonna say right now, VR is gonna be the next move. It's gonna be the next Connect. It's gonna be the next 3D TV.
I super disagree.
It's gonna be.
It works better than all of those.
It's gonna be a luxury, and it's not gonna hit mainstream, and it's just gonna be for the elites.
I'm not saying it's going to hit mainstream by next year, but it will hit mainstream.
I don't think so.
I think it's honestly, I think it's the first new way to play games in a long time. Like imagine like how far we've come from like Pong or Atari. Like honestly, that's literally where we're at with VR. There's literally a Pong game for VR. I don't know what it's called, but you're playing with your head. But anyway, like just
Danger
imagine like advancing this technology. Even like think 10 years ago where you were at the game. Like imagine 10 years where we can be with. I think VR has huge potential. It's just a matter of, are people going to invest in this? I mean, what are the ideas going to be?
I said it already. It's the next big thing since 3D graphics.
It has a next potential for one thing: experiences and attractions, not gaming.
All right,
you're gonna see it.
We've set our pieces.
You're gonna see like the thing I'm looking forward to is like laser tag with VR.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
Yeah. So.
How do you run around, or would it be like teleporting type of thing?
It's not a game. You are wearing the VR headset in the arena. The arena is put out for you.
Oh, I see.
Okay, all right.
That's going to be what's going to happen. Moving around.
What would you call that type of activity? Would that be a game?
Virtual experience?
It would almost be
augmented
reality.
I feel like that would be a
reality, right?
game.
No, I'm talking about home consoles.
What are you talking about?
These are attractions. Like, you know how there's like VR roller coasters now? Like you wear the VR headset and you're on a real roller coaster.
Which I went on. It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about.
Wait, you're on a real roller coaster?
You're on a real roller coaster. That's the thing.
So you're physically on a roller coaster and you put on a VR headset.
If you're on a VR headset.
And what is the VR headset showing you?
Some scene.
Something different than
what you're actually seeing. Like you're on like a flying dragon or something like that. That's what VR is going to be like. home console gaming, it's going to be you sit on your butt, you're driving a car. Or
that would excite me if they can actually get driving games to be good.
That's going to be the mainstay. It's just those simulation games.
Distance. Remember that one I tried it at PSX? Well, whatever.
I don't, but
it was
tell me about
was that the space, like the really fast one?
Yeah, really fast one. It's a racing platformer, so your car can jump and it can also like fly and do all that stuff. Whenever I go on my rants about my first PSX VR experiences, where I'm talking about like the car started going straight down, so I had to look up to look forward, and it was like this whole crazy trippy thing. That was the game. That was my first VR experience. was Distance. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. I thought it was going to be a launch title, but it's not out yet. But once it's out,
they're fixing the drift problem.
I hope so, man. That drift problem. That's pretty frustrating. That's the one main thing. They need to fix that. Anyway, we've said our pieces. But you don't think it's going to be for gaming, Nick? I do. Taylor, sounds like you do.
I think certain games, like I don't want to play like Elder Scrolls 6 in VR or something like that. Like I think a lot of people.
Why? That would be incredible.
I mean, it could be, but I think you have to.
It will be compromised.
Yeah, you have to compromise it, and then also I don't think they have solved the problem of. I'm in first person moving, but I'm sitting on my couch and not moving, and my body doesn't know how to respond to that.
I haven't had that issue.
Well, a lot of people do, and that's like I didn't have that either. But I've heard a lot of people have that issue, and that's never going to be solved unless you're actually doing the movement yourself.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just mentality about it. I think the more used to games you are, the better you'll be off. Because like I really haven't had a single issue. I've had a little bit of an issue with rigs again when you respawn, so you're up in the air, and then you're like you're like you move really quickly across the unit, and then you're like dropped down. Like that's like a little like whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
But if I'm controlling it. If I'm holding up on the analog stick and I'm controlling every little movement, then it's fine. Yeah, I think actually automated movement, that's going to be worse, to be honest.
That's the worst.
Here are two things that I really am looking forward to. I don't own any VR, but the ones that I want to try.
You're going to try it, right?
I'm hoping if I can get some time to come over.
Good.
One good, like, top tier driving games. Like I'm actually looking for like the next Gran Turismo apparently has some VR functionality, like GT Sport in cool. VR, I think would be great. And two, like this is gonna sound weird, but I'm curious to see third person games in VR because I know the whole thing with VR is like, oh, I'm first person, I'm really there. But it'd be cool to be like you're literally in the world, but you can see your character. Like I think that's a kind of a neat idea.
I am
too.
more excited about third person applications for it because first person, it's the same issue I had with rigs. I have a bit of maybe I'm just not used to it yet, but I've had a bit of issues with like turning with the right stick, but then just looking around with my head and having that not do anything. It's just camera movement, and it's kind of like maybe I just need to get used to it because it does make sense on paper to me. I'm like, yeah, that's how I should be playing, but it's hard to actually do. So I'm imagining a third person game where you can just look around. That's going to be great. Now, Bound is a game that came out a couple months ago, and it said it's going to be compatible with VR. So I didn't play it. I was really excited for this platformer, but I didn't play it yet because I wanted to wait for VR. So I'm actually going to probably try that today for the first time, and that is going to be a third-person platformer. So,
nice.
So I'll be able to have that answer today, I guess. So maybe I can talk about that more next week if you guys want.
Cool.
But
experience.
Yeah. Well, it's a game. Yeah. It's not an experience.
No, I'm just saying you're going to experience.
I am, yes. Yes, I am.
Cool.
All right, we've talked about VR for a lot today already, and we still have some more stuff to get to. So, before the Nintendo Switch, which is going to be our last and largest topic, I wanted to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. There was Rockstar announced that there was going to be a trailer on Thursday and in the morning, and I'm pretty sure they used the words trailer. Or they used the word trailer.
I don't remember. It was
not
a trailer.
Teaser.
I think it was I think they did say trailer.
They said trailer,
and then they just released a teaser.
They released a teaser, and it was weird because like they had it on their stream. You could watch it on their stream, and they had a countdown and everything for it. And then it was just a minute-long teaser. And,
it was short.
So that's
hilarious to see it live.
Taylor.
Yeah.
You watched it when it first came out?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so you watched it. Walk me through you watching it.
I mean, we talked about this a little before the podcast. I have no affinity for Red Dead Redemption 2, so I had zero expectations. I'm not like, oh my god, what are they going to show?
Right.
But like, it looked gigantic. Like it showed like just all this wilderness, like forests and just big open plains, and herds of buffalo next to a train and stuff like that. And my mind was immediately like, okay, that little teaser image was 7 characters, and then if you go to the website, it talks about like, oh, we're gonna like revolutionize multiplayer or whatever. So I'm like, dude, are we gonna be doing like train robberies, like riding horses and jumping on the trains and robbing the train? Like that kind of stuff seems super cool.
Grand Theft Auto 5 introduced heists, and they were 4-player, incredibly fun missions.
Is it
That's
in online, or was it in the?
It was online.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it was both. Obviously, it was a single player too.
In the campaign, yeah. But what was awesome was the online portions, because you and 3 other people all have your own jobs to do, and you're doing them at the same time, and it's super cool to see it. So those were incredible. So if they introduce those to Red Dead Redemption, or at least that kind of thing, I think that would fit in beautifully.
Online is not the focus. I hope the single player is on the focus.
That's everybody's fear, is because how full on they've gone with Grand Theft Auto Online, and they didn't do any single player like story DLC, but people must love it. Like apparently,
it is. Grand Theft Auto Online is incredible. It's so well done. I'm blown away. I mean, especially in comparison to Grand Theft Auto 4, where they had an online mode and it was just like deathmatch pieces of crap things. This is like you have an online game. It's like an MMO.
Great online, the best online ever. Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is amazing. Online.
Oh, it was so.
Oh my
it was
God.
like literally the worst. Online.
Well, the big multiplayer modes, but the one-on-one modes, those were awesome. Those were super cool. Which, by the way, why are we not excited for Watch Dogs 2? The first one, there weren't too many complaints. It was just kind of, we played it, it was good, and then it was over. But why aren't we excited for the second one?
Because the second one is like, look at me, I'm awesome, I'm cool, aren't I hip? Yeah, cool.
For
hackers.
I mean, like, it looks cool. Okay, I'll say this: if Final Fantasy 15 wasn't coming out the same month, I'd probably be more excited about it.
Cool.
That's my main thing.
All right.
It just is getting lost in the shuffle, kind of.
That and also what I said, because it just feels like it's forcing itself on us. It's like, we're cool too, guys. Look, and it's like, no,
I feel you.
No,
no.
Well,
you're trying too hard.
So back to Red Dead Redemption 2. Nick, what did you think?
Looked good. It looks. It has the detail of Grand Theft Auto 5 in it. And the cool thing is that this is not going to be hindered by the last generation.
Right? Yeah, it'll be next gen.
So
for sure.
I liked Red Dead Redemption. I finished it. I beat it. Really fun game. I like the setting, and I'm excited to see what they do next.
Cool.
I like how the world's really detailed, because that's the one thing I do like about Grand Theft Auto 5 is that everything, there's so much detail in it.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of amazing that game ran on last gen when you really think about it.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm actually really impressed. It to be honest, it makes me more hyped for GTA 6. Like, I know it's weird. That's still a long ways away, but I'm even more hyped about that.
We'll be 40 when that comes out.
I think that's going to be 20. Like, I honestly think it's going to be 2020 for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Well, and also they did say,
wow, 2020.
I know that's a long time away from now.
No, but it's not. That's why it's weird.
4 years, yeah. Well, so they said
2017.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out fall 2017.
Yep.
Everybody online was like, so really they mean spring 2018, because apparently Rockstar is infamous for delaying games or something. I don't really know. I haven't kept up with them, but
I think they delayed Grand Theft Auto 5, and that's
I think they did as well, yeah.
But I mean,
they also
delayed
delayed the online heists. They delayed those.
Oh, that took forever to come out.
Yeah, it was awful.
The thing is, people are still playing that though, so clearly it was worth the wait.
The heists are incredible. They're super well done. Yeah. So okay, cool. For me,
Jake,
Red Dead Redemption 2. I was actually disappointed by the trailer, but I was also disappointed by the other big release that morning. At first, I think maybe I was just cranky that morning or something. I didn't feel like I was, but I just wasn't impressed by either. So with Red Dead Redemption 2, I was really upset that it was only a minute. It was just like, they said trailer, they didn't say teaser.
That's the thing that made me laugh. I was watching it, so I'm like, okay, let's see what this is all about. And it showed environmental shots.
Yeah.
And then guys riding off into the distance.
And then fade to black.
And I'm like, really?
Yep. So I've watched it like 4 times now since then, and God, the environments, they're just breathtaking. The shot, specifically the shot with the muddy streets and the chickens and the dog barking at them, every time I do like a little double take. I'm like, wait, is that real? Like, just for the first split second, the lighting is just, I mean, it's unreal. It's crazy. So
It is. It's a bull shot.
It's a what?
It's a bull shot.
A bull shot?
Bull shot. Meaning it's created
what do you say,
specifically
bull?
for bull shot.
Bull.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just saying it weird.
All right.
Okay.
That's what
It's created for what?
it's just created for the trailer to make it look as nice as possible. I'm pretty sure those things happen, but not like perfectly in sync like that.
I don't know, man.
We'll find out.
I don't know.
In a year.
Do you remember Skyrim? Remember seeing the trailer for Skyrim, seeing all those things happen perfectly together?
Well, yeah. Okay, so it was like perfectly framed and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So everything's
well,
it's framed perfectly.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, cool. So then let's move on to obviously the biggest news of the week: Nintendo Switch. There's a lot to talk about, so let's try and keep it structured.
So
we'll
Jake
get to
can't talk.
things.
Let's go.
No, I'll make sure I'm quick about stuff too. So let's keep going in this clockwise order here. So first up, we're going to talk about first impressions only. Just what did we think right at first? We'll start fleshing out our opinions afterwards. So Taylor, first impressions.
The more it went on, the more I got excited. Like, it was interesting to me that there were no little kids in it. It was all like adults. Like, okay, I gotta go walk my dog. Oh, I'm gonna go to my friend's house right now. That's what I noticed. I'm going on a plane. It wasn't like, oh, I'm a little kid. I'm gonna go out and play with my friends now or whatever.
Is that what you sounded like as a little kid?
Yeah, that was me. That's how I
or
sounded.
like a family, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, the family's having fun. It's like, no. The people who grew up with Nintendo, this is what it's for.
Yeah, and then the other thing I noticed was the little Joy-Con L and Joy-Con R, as I guess as they're calling it, were they looked really small and really uncomfortable. But I mean, hopefully we'll get to play those at some point. We'll just see how big they are. But and then the games were interesting, like showing Skyrim. At first, I couldn't tell if that's what it was because it didn't have any of the HUD on it.
Right.
And it was in third person, which is usually not how people
The
play.
moment I saw it, I'm like, this is Skyrim.
I thought the first screenshot of it was like the flame in the left hand and the mace in the right hand. Wasn't that it?
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right.
If you're wondering why they showed Skyrim, it's because the enhanced port's coming out.
Yeah, for PS4
Right,
and
exactly.
stuff,
But
so.
also, I think Skyrim's a good one to show just because it's iconic. It's so super popular as like this is a AAA title. This is a video game that everyone loves.
And the idea that you can take that on the go is probably like making people's imaginations
Mobile Skyrim,
go wild.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they showed a couple other like enhanced ports of Splatoon, which is cool, and then Mario Kart 8, which it looks like there's some additions to that.
Yeah,
like
there's if you pause the screen, you can see that you could have 2 items now, and King Boo is one of the playable characters.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not going to be. So it's like. Well, okay, we can talk about that. That's software.
That's it. These enhanced ports. That's a different topic.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I keep wanting to jump into everything else. So, all right. Sorry. Continuing on.
But yeah, so it looks seamless the way you can dock it and pull it off and play on the go and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm pretty excited. So initially, I was really positive on it. Like they showed games that I like, and yeah, I'll get to the other stuff later on.
First impressions, Nick.
First impressions is what I expected. This is what I expected the future consoles are going to be.
I know that we've been playing with like the idea of a soundboard on the podcast, and we're probably going to be getting one of those in the future. But like, honestly, we might as well just get one for you. Like, just either
Nick doesn't even need to talk.
Yeah,
nope, this is crap.
Nope, this is crap, or it's what I expected.
What I expected.
Nick's a curmudgeon.
Or just it's because you're a slave to hype.
Yeah, you are a slave to hype.
I'm not, but I'm saying that would be a good soundbite for you.
Stop being hyped. No hype. Okay, back to my impressions. Like, I remember in one of the first episodes of LHG cast, when it used to be called the Last Honest Gamers podcast, and we did ramble a bit.
Yeah.
I said that the next generation of consoles is going to be a handheld console hybrid.
Did you really?
Yes, I said that's what it should move forward to.
I don't remember this. I think Nick's lying.
No, I'm not lying.
Revisionist history,
No.
Jake.
Yeah,
This is what I said.
find the proof, Nick. Go through all the episodes.
Okay.
Find it, Nick.
Okay.
Let's bet. Let's make a bet.
Yeah, let's make a bet, Nick.
Okay. This is what I wanted, so I'm hopefully the Switch is popular, so PlayStation copies it and makes a PlayStation version of this.
That's what the PS5 is.
Yeah, the PS5 is going to be this if the Switch is popular.
Well, yeah, that'll be cool.
Other than that, it looks interesting how you can just like pull off the thingies and stuff like that. I know we're only going to be using the Pro controller, so
For the TV part of it, yeah, when it's on TV.
Sure, yeah.
no, even when it's portable, just
I mean, you
Yeah,
could.
could be, yeah.
just put it on the desk. But yeah,
First impressions for me, glad you asked, guys. Thanks. No, I don't know. I just it sounded
Because you just
it made me sound like first impressions for me.
Yeah.
Gosh, okay, I guess I'll tell you. I was kind of annoyed. It was like more gimmicky crap. Like it was so frustrating. Yeah, perfect.
Oh boy.
There's that soundboard. No, but seriously, I was just frustrated. It's just like more gimmicky stuff, more stuff that I'm just like they're all talking about it being on the go, and it's gonna just be under my TV. It's gonna collect dust, and it's just gonna be. It's none of this is gonna be used. Nintendo, just give me a console. That's it. I'm not asking for anything else. That was my first impression.
Okay.
Okay.
First impression. We'll move on to other stuff later, but just suffice it to say, I'm a lot more excited about it now after rewatching it a few times.
Now let's continue. Let's just continue on your little little thing then.
What? Oh well, I guess because it's gonna be hardware next. So all right, I'll continue and then Taylor. So the more I've seen it now, the more impressed I am actually, because there are just the fact that it's not actually that gimmicky. It's portable, and that's it. It's just a matter of. So actually, I wrote about this on my my page, where I fell out of handheld games a long time ago, and like years ago, and it's because the games are too small and too not impressive enough, honestly, to justify carrying it around with me all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the thing is that what filled that void was mobile games because they're small, but it's already on my phone, so I don't need to carry anything extra. It's just the height of convenience are those games, and so
very convenient game.
Yeah, and so so it kind of became just console and mobile. Handheld was completely cut out of that equation.
He doesn't have handheld or PC.
So well, yeah. And so anyway, now with the Nintendo Switch, I was thinking about it, and like that's something that I could totally see myself taking with me. Like that's something that is entirely portable. Like I would love that because it's got. I mean, it has the big console-sized games that would justify me bringing that tablet with me. So
and the 1 hour battery life.
And that's the biggest thing is that also on my page, that's something I talked about was that's my biggest worry. Honestly, my biggest worry. Battery life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna kill it. If it's not good, that's gonna kill the console. Because that's gonna completely get rid of all of the viability of the portability. And then that's gonna make the console just have to. The only thing it's gonna have to work with then is just straight power at home.
I wonder,
and then it's gonna have to compete with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox Scorpio, which it probably will lose.
Do you guys know the battery life of the Shield?
I do not. I don't know anything about
the
Shield.
Shield, that's like 5 years old now?
I know. So if it was good...
What?
Then if the battery life was good for the Shield...
Was it?
I don't know. If it was, then we wouldn't have anything to worry about.
Well, I guess, but I mean, why the Shield? Why not
because it's a
talk
tablet
about the 3DS?
It's using the same technology, I think, right?
Yeah,
it's NVIDIA chips, right, or whatever?
It's a tablet that you play games on.
Well, okay, but why not even just talk about the Wii U gamepad?
That's horrible battery life.
Well,
It does, and that's what's worrying is that battery life, it lasts maybe 2 hours max. Now, granted, you're at home with it, so you can just plug it back in, or you can plug it in initially, but still, that's not good.
Yeah. Well, here's the really interesting thing. From what I understand, so you have the screen, and when you're playing at home on like TV mode or whatever, it sits in the dock. Mm-hmm. That dock is just a charger. The actual guts of the machine is the tablet itself. There's nothing in that little charging station that makes it like the graphics better or whatever.
So essentially, this is just the Game Boy player. It's just it's purely a handheld console that can also be played on the TV.
Yeah.
Not the other way around, which I think is what they would have you believe. Marketing wise, I think they want you to think it is a home console you can take on the go. But instead, it's a handheld that you can plug into the TV.
Well, I remember I heard rumors that they wanted to unify their Wii and 3DS audience into one. So they only have to make like one set of games.
Well, they did actually consolidate their sections as well, their development.
Yeah.
So you see that plan in fruition, and the big thing is we're finally going to get that Pokemon console game.
I know.
So that's kind of the thing is it's kind of it's kind of just reminding me, it's like with Xbox games, every Xbox game is now also on PC. Well, now every Nintendo game is also on console.
Yep.
Like it's also on, so yeah, you're going to get all those cool handheld ones on the TV, and you're also going to get all the console ones on the go. Like that's pretty cool, actually. You're never going to have to worry about which one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's going to be a big variety of different types of graphical styles.
Yeah, that is my initial worry, because it's like, okay, if this is a handheld, like I'm trying to think of like what the next big game is. So they have Skyrim. There's no way like Elder Scrolls 6 is going to run on this, right? Or are they going to like do special dumbed down ports to make it being able to run on the Switch? Or we don't know what the power
Switch,
is.
The power, from what they said, didn't they say it was going to be like about as good as Xbox One?
Really?
I heard it's a little weaker than PS4.
Yeah, so I heard it was like right in between. It's a little more powerful than the Xbox One. However, not more powerful than the Xbox One Scorpio or the PlayStation 4 Pro or the regular PlayStation 4. But that said, that's still very powerful. That's good. They could absolutely run Elder Scrolls 6, I think.
That would be cool. Just to go back to what Nick was saying, that's what excites me most about this. Because, Nintendo's like, okay, we're going to make a Kirby game for Wii U, and then we're going to make a couple Kirby games for 3DS, and now it's just like, we're just going to get one. That's it. And maybe more top-tier quality games. And finally, for better or worse, Game Freak is going to have to make, like, a Pokemon game that looks like a console game. It's not like you can't be cheap anymore, you know what I mean? Like, they were 2D for so long. They were so far behind as far as visuals went. And same for me, the one I'm excited about is Fire Emblem. Instead of having these weird little chibi characters with 8-bit sprites and no feet, we're going to get like, hopefully have it look like Valkyria Chronicles or something like that. Like, that'd be awesome. I'm really excited about the potential of what these games that had really low quality visuals compared to PS4, Xbox One, now what those are going to look like.
Well, it sounds like this is a good place to segue, and unless you had anything else about hardware, Nick, this is a pretty good place to segue into the software section of it. A little more formally. So actually, Nick, why don't you go first? About we saw some cool games on it. What did you think of the games, and what do you think going forward some of those games can be? Some of the good ones can be.
We saw Mario, which looked like a hybrid between Mario World and Galaxy.
Okay.
Or
Sunshine.
And some people were saying 64 because he does the triple jump from 64.
Yeah.
It's like 1, 2, and
that's in every Mario game.
Oh, is it?
That's in Galaxy and Sunshine and
I don't think it's
World.
in the new ones though.
I don't think it's a triple jump. I think they made it into a double jump.
It's still there's still a triple jump.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't remember.
Well, it's a new Mario. Nonetheless, it's a new Mario game.
It's an actual new Mario game. So that's what got people excited. It's like, oh my gosh, Mario!
But he didn't have the flood on his back, so I'm
it
done.
Could be Sunshine 2.
I'm out.
We don't know.
I hope so much that it's Sunshine 2.
All I care about is it doesn't have multiplayer. It's just
Why?
Multiplayer. I hate when it has multiplayer focus because it just.
Well, if it's a multiplayer focus,
Yeah.
then that's frustrating. But I hope that they have a full campaign. But wouldn't it be cool to have a friend be able to drop in?
No,
No. All right.
not at all.
I like how Jig is trying
Let me
extend the celebration. It's just like,
Here,
no.
wait a second. Let me shorten the question. Wouldn't it be cool to have a friend? Nick, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool?
No, not at all. If the 2-player is going to be like old school 2-player, if you die, you go to 2. You pass the controller. That's 2-player.
Yeah,
right?
maybe. Yeah, or just let's have a roguelike Mario, permadeath and everything.
The moment you die,
Go
you
through the
just gotta
castle.
go through it all over again.
Yep.
Oh, man.
And each time you have more powers.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh man, I never talked about Necropolis. Oh god, that game is so
too
much
late.
fun.
Too
That's
late.
my plug. Necropolis, amazing
Necropolis
game.
is fun.
Amazing game.
All right, and then the other things we saw
You'd like it, Taylor.
is except for Splatoon. I don't know what Splatoon was. It could have been just like a Wii U version. But
Someone-
They had new hairstyles.
Yeah, I
and
saw
guns
someone
and
say,
stuff.
yeah, since it was new hairstyles and guns, people are saying Splatoon 2.
No, I think it's just going to be
Splatoon.
Splatoon. I think it'll just be a enhanced port.
Yeah, because they showed Mario Kart, and people were like, "Oh, is this Mario Kart 8?" But if you look closely at it, as we said
Sure.
before, it looks enhanced.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other game they showed? They showed something else.
Skyrim.
They
They
showed
showed
Enhanced
Mario
Edition,
Kart.
Mario
They-
Kart.
Oh,
And
NBA
NBA
2K17 or whatever.
So we're gonna get those. We're gonna get sports games
So
on.
now I wonder,
Nintendo.
because these seem like other games, but they're switched up a bit.
So we're gonna get.
I wonder if it's going to be called something, something along the lines of like Splatoon Switch or.
Yeah.
I hate when Nintendo does that. Just like freaking call it something. Like I hated it in 60. Everything was 64.
We're gonna get We're gonna get Smash Brothers Switch,
right,
which is gonna be the same game with no GameCube controllers and all the DLC put in it.
Yep.
So that's what I think we're gonna get because Wii U is not backwards compatible with the Wii U at all.
It can't be. Well, here's the other thing: the games they come on carts, like really big, beefy carts. Yeah.
Yep.
Like on 3DS, but obviously they're gonna have to be way bigger to fit games like Skyrim and whatever.
I know it's crazy how you could fit Skyrim on a cart.
Mm-hmm.
They're super interesting.
I mean, those.
Why are you guys saying cart? Is this like lingo that I'm just not used to?
That's what they're not. I mean, when I think of cartridge, I think of like Super Nintendo, like these big beefy things. Carts are like the little things you would put in like a DS or a 3DS.
And cart is a shortened version of cartridge.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming, but I just I've never heard anyone talk about it in regular conversation, so I didn't.
I mean, we could call it card because it's just a memory card.
That's basically what it is. It's a glorified memory card.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I've learned something. But as far as games go, we're talking about software. Any hopes for any games, sequels, or anything that you can think of that would be extra good on Switch? And this is for anyone. Nick,
teacher.
Yeah.
I want actual games.
Actual games, so not Skyrim.
No. I'm talking about I want games, to be released because we only get like one a year on the Wii U.
Yeah. God, the Wii U.
So yeah.
What was the last game that came out? Like Color Splash, and before that it was
Woolly
Fire
World?
Emblem or
something like that.
Yeah, whatever.
3DS gets all the games, so at least all the 3DS games, the people making 3DS games, are going to go to.
So I just want to clarify myself in case we get a comment. I meant Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei. Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway.
FE.
Yeah, because there was never a traditional Fire Emblem game on Wii U.
There was one on
Wii. Which makes me
Wii.
sad. Yeah.
So then, I mean, is that it for software?
I mean, I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go for it.
I
hope Persona 5.
Yes, dude. I want Persona 5 on Switch. That would be amazing because you could. I think it is
Not gonna happen.
If you saw on the partners, Atlas was one of the partners.
Yeah, for Professor Layton.
No.
Yeah.
Professor Layton's coming out on 3DS and mobile or something.
Exactly. This is
the
Switch.
Level 5 makes Professor Layton, Nick, not Atlas.
What's Atlas? Atlas does something.
Persona.
No.
Etrian Odyssey, Shin Megami Tensei.
All those are going to move over. Persona is not.
Well, here's the really sad thing. I like Etrian Odyssey. There's no way those games are going to work on Switch because they so depend on the bottom screen to draw the map. Like, I think it's just going to be... And we don't even know if the tablet is touch or not.
I'm pretty sure it's touch. And there's no reason why it wouldn't be.
Well, the point... I don't think there would be a point because if you're playing the home version and you're playing on a controller, the thing has to be in the dock, so you can't hold the pad and play it on TV at the same time. So I don't think
it might not be touch.
I don't think that there would be a point.
There's going to be touch.
Why? I don't know why.
No, that's a good point.
When you're on the thing, you're just
but you can't
doing the menu. It's going to be. There's no reason why because it's so basic technology now that it's going to be there.
Well, like I said, if you're playing on TV mode, there's no way to have touch.
Well, no, it's not for games. It's just there.
Yeah,
for menus and stuff like that.
I mean, maybe.
I think if they're smart, they wouldn't have touch. To be honest. Because
it'd save on cost.
They would save on cost, and it would save on. They would be able to put the technology, the time, the resources, and the physical space within the unit to devote more to power, to just being a better console. I don't think touch would really give much.
I think touch is still there.
All right,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
because we have tablets that cost like $30 and they have touch.
Yeah.
So it's got to be there.
Sure.
So we'll see.
Here's what I'll say is going forward, if Switch can run third-party games, I think that will be my de facto third-party console because I can take it on the go. Like I live in a house with two other guys, and it's really unpredictable when they're going to want to use the one TV in the house that I can play my PS4 on. So now if I'm like, crap, I can't play Persona or whatever the game is, I'm like, all right, I'll just take my Switch and go upstairs and play it on my screen or whatever.
Yeah,
like
that's awesome.
Is super appealing to me because I like mobile game or I like handheld gaming.
But
so
you already do that.
God, that would be super cool.
It's called your Vita and your PS4.
That's too... Well, you can't do it at the same time. You can't have somebody using the PS4 for something else and then playing on your Vita.
That's why you put your foot down and say, this is my PS4. I'm using this right now. You could watch TV, but I'm going up in my room and using the PS4.
Yeah, I might have to. I'm gonna have to do that.
Do it.
All right. Anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
another good segue then into predictions. I think. So I've got 3 little subcategories, 3 questions for you guys. First is, how fun do you think it's going to be?
It's a console. It's going to be fun.
So you think it's going to be good? I mean, do you think it's going to be like the games are going to be able to? They're going to be able to support the Switch play style, and then also still have quality of games as well.
Oh, that's another thing we haven't talked about. I think there's going to be certain games that will not be playable on the go. I have a feeling there's
Like
going to
if they have online functionality, or what do you mean?
just the games are too much that you can't.
Well, I think
Play it
the
on the
tablet itself; those are the guts of the
I
console.
know, but it's just like because I saw once they took it onto like tablet mode, the game ran at like 30 frames per second instead of 60.
I think you're making that up.
No, it went on it went lower resolution, stuff like that. It's gonna happen. They're gonna have to run it on a lower resolution.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm not
honestly.
either.
Yeah.
We'll look.
I saw it, so I don't know if it's true or not. But if that's true,
Oh, all right.
then I have a feeling certain games are not going to be playable on really.
I mean, so
high-end
far
games.
Nintendo hasn't dropped the ball on that yet. So far, they haven't done anything too big, like with their new Nintendo 3DS. That's kind of the first one that's really coming to mind about exclusive play on something that you kind of expect it should be able to be played on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to drop the ball on this one. I think they say Nintendo Switch, they mean it's going to work. Like every game,
You'll be able
play
to
on the
switch
go. Yeah, and that's it. Even if it does sacrifice some power, which I still don't quite see how or why it would.
I think it has to save battery.
Well,
Because
I guess to save battery,
it's gonna sacrifice something.
well, and I guess that's going to be the biggest thing is like how good is the battery? If the battery is great, if they can have the great battery with the good performance, then wonderful.
They have an add-on that adds on to the battery.
Yeah, like the gamepad. Oh, that was third party. But anyway,
Your
Taylor?
expectations.
how fun do you think it's going to be?
I kind of like the idea. Like my worry is that those, as you're constantly switching out controllers and whatever, that those have the potential to break and stuff like that. Like I wonder what the build quality is going to be. Can you imagine like little kids like constantly pulling it in and out, and then you get half of the controller, the Joy-Con pad is lost, and you only have one side of it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine that being a big issue. But for me, like, this sounds awesome. I'm hoping to have some good fun with it, especially if it's as seamless as it looked like in the trailer, where literally he's playing and as soon as he picks it up, it goes
just
right.
switched.
There's no like load.
Yeah, I was
like
pretty
instant.
impressed with that.
So especially bigger experiences that like the Vita and the 3DS just can't handle, like even Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild looks cool, and if you can play that on the go, like wow, this amazing big open world, like just dive and get crazy with. And really, like because for me, Persona 4 Golden on Vita was like really was like a handheld. You could take it anywhere. So the idea that I could take Persona 5 with me, I think that's coming.
Nice.
And amongst whatever else. Yeah. So I'm excited for, seriously, like if it can work as well as it does and it gets the support, that'll be key. Can Nintendo maintain these third-party relationships? Because it can't just
or is
survive.
it gonna crumble like the Wii U?
It can't survive off first-party software. Like look at the Wii, or the Wii U. It's clear that didn't work. So they need to maintain these relationships, and if they don't, literally, this is Nintendo's last gasp, I think, at a console. Like the Switch can't fail if they want to be a console manufacturer. Now, if they just want to be a software developer, great, go on everything and you'll sell a bunch of copies of all your games.
Everywhere.
yeah.
Mobile, even other companies, handhelds, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. It'll sell everywhere. Yeah. They have that as a backup always.
Yeah, thankfully they have a strong, software lineup. So we'll see if that'll be huge. That's the key, the support. So we'll see how well that manages to keep up.
The lucky thing about the about the Switch is it's not two screens like the Wii U was, and that's why third party dropped, because they had to do the stupid second screen
Everyone had
thing.
to worry about like way more work and all. Yeah.
So that's gone now. So that's good.
So next question, then moving on, will be how well will it sell? This is all predictions. So what do you guys think its reception is going to be like?
I think it depends on the launch lineup. Like it can't just launch with a bunch of Wii U ports, which it sounds like it's gonna.
Well, it's launching with Zelda, so
Yeah, that'll be huge. I think
that'll
be a big
draw.
one.
Which, by the way, can we just say real quick, Breath of the Wild looks freaking awesome. It looks super cool.
I usually don't like the 3D Zelda games, but I'm pretty excited for that one.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, it's kind of weird. I think because Skyrim is coming out next week or this week, that's going to get my Skyrim bug out, right? And then I won't want it on the Nintendo Switch because I've got Zelda. If I ever want to play an adventure, an RPG, I'm just going to hop on Breath of the Wild.
Have you already played Skyrim?
Yeah.
Why are you playing Skyrim again?
Because I want to play it again. And my old console's not set up, and the graphics are going to be better.
The console version. Okay.
Yeah, the graphics are going to be better. There's going to be some mod support, which I never really got to experience before, except on Oblivion a bit. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So
it's good.
But yeah. So you said it's going to depend on the launch lineup, Taylor.
Yeah, how like I said, how well support and in price. Like it can't. I don't think they can charge 400, 500.
I think the rumor price is 300.
300. I thought it was. Oh yeah, it is 300. Yeah. So $299.99.
I think that would be
the rumor at least. So
I mean that'd be solid. Like what other first? I mean they must have. Because the Wii U has been so slow with putting out games, like they must have just like a giant launch lineup ready to go, or at least like every month past the launch lineup, they're gonna have
if they don't,
they messed up.
It's not gonna sell.
Yep. So what do you think then, Nick?
It needs to have Mario, which it does. It's just windy. It needs to have Mario.
He was talking about the weather, by the way, not the not the Nintendo Switch.
Sorry,
I was looking at it because I heard some leaves rustling, and
so it needs to have Mario. It needs to have Zelda, which it does. Has both of those already. It needs to have a Metroid.
Oh, proper Metroid.
Proper Metroid. It needs to have maybe
Federation Force 2,
another
maybe
Donkey Kong. And it needs a Nintendo sports game.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't have, if it has like at least 4 of those, then I think it'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people will be happy.
I think more information is going to be needed for me before I can make a good prediction on it. Because the thing is that like right now, you know, I'm looking at Nintendo, and still the first thing I think of is multiplayer, and that's even from when Nintendo was phenomenal back in 64. You know, multiplayer was such a big part of that. Always 4 controllers. Always, they did a great job with that.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually, that was a huge mark of theirs when it was 64 versus PS1, right? Wasn't that it, or was it GameCube?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, 64 versus PS1. I mean, PS1 had 2 controllers, right?
Unless you bought a multi-tab, then you
right. But like in general, PS1 2 controllers, 64 4 controllers, and that's incredible. Since then, Nintendo made the 4 controller thing, that they made that the standard.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm wondering how are they going to do 4 players on this? I mean,
same thing.
I mean, I guess they'll have the 4 controllers, but that means you're going to need to
buy
get
the Pro controllers.
Right, the Pro controller specifically, which doesn't seem.
Or you get the Joy-Con and get the little add-on that has like, it makes it like a controller. Do you remember seeing that?
What?
It was like a controller that had the Joy-Cons on it, and you take the Joy-Con out, and then you.
Well, that's just the main controller.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
no. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I think you're gonna have to buy the Pro one separately.
The Pro ones are separate.
Right. So you'll need to buy. You'll essentially have 5 controllers, if you wanted to have a 4-player thing, because you'll have the one Joy-Con that holds the L and R. You'll have the tablet, which I guess I wouldn't say is another controller, but
it can't be because it
controllers.
needs the L and R to switch onto it.
Right. So it's kind of just, I don't know. The whole thing seems a little bit weird, and I think a lot of it as well. One of the biggest turnoffs right now, I think, for a lot of people is that the Joy-Con L and R look a little uncomfortable.
They're really small, yeah.
But
really
I mean,
small.
like, you know, I've been trying to think about it, and like, if it's small enough, I feel like it's not the awkward middle. You know, a big controller is good, right? Not too big, obviously, like not the Xbox. Yeah.
The bear.
Yeah. But like, you want a big controller, right? Something that's really going to comfortably fit in people's hands, and you don't want something too small like the Game Boy Micro. But I think it's just bigger than the Game Boy Micro. That it'll be at a nice.
I don't think it's that small.
Size.
If you see the controller when the left and right hook onto it, looks like a normal size controller.
Right.
It's only when you play it on the side,
Right, the L or the R,
Yeah.
right, and that's kind of what I'm thinking is.
or not. No one's going to be using that.
I actually don't know, man, because really the functionality of like how it can connect, like the NBA 2K17 one, that little example from the trailer, that was really impressive to me.
The
I
ad
thought
hoc
that was
multiplayer. That's
you just
cool, yeah.
set them up side by or back to back, and then you have the controllers like that.
Then you pull out the Pro.
Maybe, and that's
Yeah.
but the thing is that like that's going to cost a lot. People might not want to do that.
Or you pull out the
As a
other
vanilla controller, that as of like just vanilla, you have 2 consoles, and you're good for 4-player multiplayer. I mean, like that's kind of good.
Mhm.
That's pretty good actually, and that's you just buy 2 consoles. Each person has one,
Mhm.
and then you can go play 4-player basketball or whatever in the
Smash.
park or outside
Whatever,
or
yeah.
at school in like a
I just
rec
don't know
room.
how that's going to work because you remember playing on the Wiimotes. It's the most uncomfortable thing in the world.
Yeah, but these, I mean, they could be learning. I'm just saying that the small ones at first, I totally wrote them off as well, but maybe they'll work. And I think though that the comfortability of those and reviews of how comfortable they are, that's going to affect sales a ton.
And battery life.
Well, of course, and battery life.
So the thing is that really stinks is they said that they're not going to say anything until next year. So this is all we get until maybe
The week before.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Well,
but yeah.
last question.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. How will it affect the market? And and this is kind of a weirder question because I think that definitely the predecessor question to it is, will it affect the market? And then of course if yes, how will it affect the market? If I could go first to help you guys stir up some ideas as well. The biggest thing is I'm wondering, I know it's going to replace the Wii U. Is it going to replace the 3DS?
That's the plan.
I think so, right? Sun and Moon comes out in a month.
Yeah.
So that's 4 months before this new console, which will effectively make it obsolete. Now, not to the point where people can't play it. People will still obviously play it. If that is the case, where it comes out and then no more support for the 3DS once the Nintendo Switch comes out, then yeah, people will still play it, but now on an obsolete console. And that just seems kind of counterintuitive. What I'm wondering is
the Switch.
exactly Pokemon Sun and Moon Switch. If they're gonna have if they're gonna have a port of it, where you'll be able to
actually good.
yeah, like that. I'm really wondering what that is because Sun and Moon plays on my 3DS and mine is a launch edition 3DS. I mean that's what I'm still playing on, and Sun and Moon that's still fully compatible on it. Nothing is exclusive. Nothing is scaled down for my crappy 3DS, and that's when you think about it, it's kind of an old console now.
Yeah.
And so
the visuals are super dated, man.
Yeah.
They look like PS1, PS2 games.
And so, like that's the Sun and Moon is really held back. I think that they could be preparing for the Switch,
The Switch edition.
and so, yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's kind of what I was thinking about affecting the market. I was thinking mainly about their own market. But what do you guys think about like affecting things like? And do you think it's going to be influenced by, or do you think it will influence other developers?
I don't know about the development community, but like I was saying before, if this works the way it should, or they're claiming it will, I'm completely going to play all third-party games on Switch now. I'm not going to play it on PS4. I don't care about, if I'm hoping that they add some type of like trophy achievement system, which traditionally Nintendo has not had.
Yeah. Well, they kind of started with something on Wii U, if you recall. It was the sticker system, and it was really, really underplayed.
Yeah, it's got to be better than that. It's got to be like a trophy system on PlayStation. But anyway, my point is that I want to buy all my third-party games if they work well, if they run well.
Even though it's going to be the worst ports.
See, I don't know. If it will be the worst ports, I don't know.
They could run really well. I mean, again, this is going to be more powerful than the Xbox, and the Xbox is still a powerful machine.
So if they don't, I'm not sure. But for me, the ability to take it on the go, to pull it off, go wherever I want with it, that extra functionality means a lot to me. So for me, I don't know how many people will see it in the same way. Like I know a lot of people like playing on the go means nothing to them. It's like I drive to work, like where would I have mobile gaming or portable gaming? So, but for me, I don't want to go around in circles, but yeah, that's how it would affect
He
me.
wants to be able to play on the toilet, all right?
It was really funny. Somebody posted on Twitter, like an old GameCube ad where some guy was playing with a Wavebird controller, and he was literally like playing on the toilet with like the door open with the mirror, and he's playing. Like, and some people are like, yeah, that's all people want to do is like,
that's
I
the
gotta go
dream.
take a crap, so I'm gonna go.
That's the dream.
Yep.
The dream. Wow.
Anyway, Nick looked like he was chomping at the bit to say something.
Yeah. So what do you think?
What? Oh, it could go two ways. First way, worst way. Nintendo fails, they're gone. They're gonna fall off.
Well, they
And they're
become
gonna-
software developers.
They're gonna continue with the 3DS.
What?
Yeah, I think they'll continue with the.
There's
mobile
no way they'll continue with
Okay,
3DS.
Well, I'm gonna say, like at the beginning when it first launches, the 3DS is gonna continue like hand in hand, just in case it does not sell.
Okay.
If it does sell, the 3DS will slowly dry off.
You don't think they're just going to axe the 3DS regardless?
No, they will not.
Wow. But I mean, it is like a 5-year-old console now, isn't it?
No, that's nothing.
But the visuals, the power gap is gigantic. Like, you can't make a game that'll run on Switch and downport it to 3DS. They're going to be too. Like, can you imagine trying to have?
No, they're still gonna make 3DS games separately.
I think that's a bad
I have
idea.
a feeling they are.
Okay. Well, it's your
Third
predictions. Your
party
predictions. So.
third party stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it does well, it's just gonna be, hey, yay, Nintendo made a successful console again, and hopefully Sony follows suit and does the same thing. And it's like, I hope it's a portable console that plugs into the TV. And if that does happen, and they're like, oh, they're just copying Nintendo, it's like, no, this is the evolution of console gaming.
Well, it's not no. It is yes, and it is also
Yeah,
the evolution.
the
of
evolution.
They are copying Nintendo, and
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be like the Switch. I don't think it's going to be like a Switch thing. But it's going to be very similar where you can take it mobile.
Sure. Well, I mean, I feel like PlayStation already wants to do that. They've
They
tried.
They tried with the
With
Vita.
the Vita, yeah.
The PSP even like that succeeded for a little while. That was good.
The PSP wasn't that good. The Vita is where it actually works.
No, I'm not talking about quality. I'm talking about
you mean
sales.
the-
Like it was the PSP was accepted. I mean that was a
I
good
thought you were talking
console.
about doing the taking the games away, not the portable system itself.
I just meant that they want to be in the handheld market.
yeah.
You know,
Did
with
alright.
the PSP did pretty well.
The
for a
Vita had
while.
so much potential, but they wasted it.
It
Yeah.
didn't have Monster Hunter. Honestly, like literally, like, that's what
And it was-
PSP did
I
so
think
well.
the
It had-
marketing. There was no marketing about it.
Yeah,
None.
they
It was just
did-
like,
they
hey,
did
here's
it
the
wrong.
Vita, and everyone's like, oh, what's the Vita? And they're like, it's a competitor to the 3DS, and they're like, well, but I already have a. I'm just gonna stick with the 3DS.
Yeah, they did it. They did it wrong. I'm telling you, they had so much potential with that system. It's so good, but they faltered. I mean, it's popular in Japan, but that's about it. It's funny because even the PSP outsells PS4 still.
No.
The PSP?
No,
Yeah.
you're wrong.
I think the PSP. Yeah, the
Dude,
PSP
PS4 sells like 100,000 units
That's-
each week. There's no way they're
I
selling
think
that
that
many
that's
PSPs.
dubious.
Yeah,
That's
I think
dubious.
the PSP is still selling though.
It's still selling, but
Or
not
no.
outselling PS4.
It's outselling some next.
Is it outselling
console.
The
PS3?
Wii? Yeah,
And
maybe, I
it
don't
might be
know.
the Wii actually. It
Or
might be
the
the Wii.
Wii,
U.
I don't know.
It's something. It's really funny.
Well,
It's
I could see
what?
the PSP outselling the Wii U.
Yeah.
I could see that.
It's just something funny.
God, that's really sad to think about, though. Wow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
the PSP.
Poor Nintendo. You guys you want to be different. I get it.
I like that they're trying to
But
be different.
man.
I like that they're because
Yeah.
like if they just came out and like made a competitor to the PS4, like it's not why would anybody buy that?
I'd be down. I'd be super down.
Why?
If they made a just boring competitor to the PS4, because
No, but
it would at least give them a foothold.
Okay,
Then
but
next,
that's what the Wii U is. That's all it is.
No, it
is-
isn't. No, it isn't. It's a very gimmicky console. What
the,
this
the
is,
Wii U is super gimmicky. Yeah.
I think this is more just a straightforward console than you expect.
Yeah, and that's-
it literally it just is a console that has this cool feature.
And that's
It's not a gimmick. It's just a feature.
why I'm getting more excited the more I see it, because it seemed like a gimmick at first. I saw the individual things. I saw holding a controller in one hand, and I instantly thought of the Wii, and I was just like, no, not this again. But no, it's not. As far as I can see, there are no motion controls, and God, I hope there are no motion controls. I hope, because I'm sick of it. I just want a console. Just a freaking console for Nintendo. Just give me a foothold to start
Nintendo Wii
to
Switch.
continue believing in you. You know what I mean? Like, just give me a regular thing, then continue on with the weird stuff for a while. But like, just
How much?
so I'm hoping that this continues. I'm hoping it is a boring, awesome console with
Exactly.
on-the-go capabilities.
I wonder how much someone tried to make this called the Wii Switch.
The Wii Switch, yep.
I wonder how many people...
I think they learned from the Wii U that they knew it was confusing. There's no way they would have been complete imbeciles to have named this anything related to the Wii.
Yep.
Because people got so confused with the Wii U. I was at the E3 when they announced the Wii U, and we were all like, is this... Because they never showed the console in the video, and we're like, is this an add-on to the Wii?
Well, no, they showed it once, but it was like blurry. It was in the background.
So minuscule. Yeah.
And everyone just assumed it was the Wii console.
Yeah,
because it doesn't look different enough.
I even remember like when Jeff Keighley used to do his streams, he brought on Reggie, and even Jeff Keighley.
He's like, what is it?
Yeah, he's like, so is this for Jeff Keighley not to get it? Like clearly they missed the mark big time. So I think they had very clear messaging. Okay, Switch. Like a lot of people say it's a dumb name, but at least it's straightforward and you get it. You're like, I'm switching. You know, It has multiple meanings, but
it is. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing is I've heard a lot of people talk about that they don't like the name, but I mean it's good. It's effective. Yeah. It's got just enough Nintendo-y charm to be Nintendo, but it's got just enough like it's kind of to the point. It's just Nintendo Switch done. We don't need to call it anything freaking weird. It's not embarrassing to call it it. The Switch is a good nickname for it. Yeah. Better than the
Wii?
one.
How about it's also Wii, but it's also for you.
Yeah, and it's also for switching. It's great.
Oh, God.
The Wii U Switch combines all three.
Kill me
Damn it,
now.
Nintendo!
The Wii U Switch D4. Perfect.
Switch D4.
The Switch D4.
Switch D4 Cube.
Gross.
Anyways, yeah. All in all, I'm excited.
They should just called it the Game Boy.
The Game Boy, yeah.
No.
Well, so that's it for my list. I think we're all done. Perfect. Awesome. Then yeah. Why don't we wrap it up, Nick?
All right. Yeah. So thanks for listening to our super packed and long episode.
Yeah. How long was this one?
An hour and 20 minutes.
Ooh. Well, thanks for sticking with us, guys.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed it. We're excited about the Nintendo Switch, as you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And we super excited for the VR as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so be sure if you liked what you listened to, be sure to comment, subscribe, and like on our YouTube channel. Give us a review on iTunes if you're listening on that. And follow us on Facebook at Last Honest Gamers or / Last Honest Gamers, and YouTube, or not YouTube, Twitter at LHG channel. And that'll be it. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks a bunch. Talk to you soon.